Hey, what's up guys, Jaeky here. Today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the Melgeek MADE68 Pro. This is another Hall effect keyboard that supports rapid trigger and customizable actuation points. The MADE68 Pro supports 8000 Hz polling rate, which will give you lower latency than your traditional 1000 Hz polling rate keyboards. Now, the difference between the MADE68 Pro and the regular MADE68 is that the MADE68 Pro comes in 4 different themes, following pretty much like an avatar theme. You have air, fire, earth, and water. I chose the air version here, as you can see, just because air is my favorite element, so I figured it would be suitable to go with air. And this is the design of the board here. The build is completely plastic. Other than the sides here, you have a little piece of metal on each side with sort of that air design engraved into there. And you can see this is what the top of the board looks like as well, and the USB-C port is on the top left side of the board. You are getting your arrow keys as well as a page up, page down, delete, and home key, since this is a 68 key layout. So in the box, you will of course get the keyboard itself. You also will get a quick start guide, a switch puller, some Melgeek themed stickers, as well as a braided USB-C to USB-A cable. And in here as well, you get some extra keycaps. And that's pretty much all of the accessories that you will get in the box. So now that we have the keyboard unboxed, let's get this plugged in. And here's the MADE68 Pro plugged in. You can see that the LEDs turn on, and you can see that this entire back plate here is shine through with this big LED bar inside shining through. That looks very nice. There is like a little plastic protective wrap on here that I haven't peeled off yet, but you can kind of see it gives off this nice little diffused light look, which is very nice. And then you also have backlighting as well behind the keys themselves. So you can download the software for the MADE68 from the Melgeek website on the software and firmware download page. It's just the Melgeek Hive software that you're going to be downloading. Alright guys, so this is the software right here that I just installed, and as you can see, the keyboard will show up right here. You can click on it, and then you have different profiles that you can set up. Right now I'm just on the default profile, so I'm just going to change everything in here. In the first tab here, we can pretty much remap all of these keys to do different functions. On the second tab here is where we change all of the lighting effects. So as you can see here, there's a bunch of different modes. You can also do brightness as well, speed, and you can change the color. And on the second tab here where it says box light, this is just the settings for the backlight here on the keyboard. So as you can see, if I change it to red, it changes to red. If I change it to teal, there's teal. Third one here is super key, which is where you can do macros as well as your DKS. The most important setting here is of course going to be your rapid trigger and customizable actuation, which is on the fourth tab. I'm just going to select all the keys here, and you can set the actuation point of the key. I like to have all my rapid trigger keyboards on 1mm. You can also set the bottom dead zone, which I'm not going to touch because I'm not really sure what that does. But we're going to turn on rapid trigger here, and I'm going to put the sensitivity all the way down to the lowest, which is 0.1. In the advanced settings here, you can also turn on continuous rapid trigger, as well as separate up and downstroke sensitivity, just like you can on the Wooting. And it looks like there's no save button that you need to press, so I guess when you change things, it just automatically saves it onto the board for you. Next here is the switch. So you can change the switch type depending on what switch you have in the board. And then down here, you can also calibrate the switches. You can do auto calibration. So I'm just gonna calibrate it real quick. And on the test page, this is actually pretty cool. So you can see if I press down a key like just slightly, you can see how much pressure I'm actually applying to the key here. So the further down I go on the switch, the more it gets pressed. And that's actually really cool that you can see that in real time. So this is pretty interesting. So this dead zone here, you can change based off how high the volatility is. So I guess if the volatility is really high when you bottom the switch out, then you can change the dead zone to kind of compensate for that. And yeah, okay. So as you can see now, when we hover over a key, it'll tell you the actuation distance as well as the rapid trigger setting that you have set. So now I guess the only thing left is to actually test the MADE68 in-game to see whether or not it's comparable with the Wooting. The only complaint that I really have about the software is I wish it was web-based. I really like when peripheral companies go with the web-based solution rather than having to actually download a program onto your computer. It's just a lot more convenient. Alright guys, now that we're in game here in Valorant, I'm just testing out the rapid trigger and the customizable actuation. Really seems like there's no issues with the performance. If I just slightly press the key on 1mm, the key activates just fine. And then if I let go of the key even slightly, since I have it set to the most sensitive, the key seems to completely stop registering, as you can see there. So it feels very similar to my Wooting. If you put the Wooting and this keyboard side by side, I probably could not tell you which is which. And that's really the whole story with rapid trigger keyboards nowadays. If it's implemented correctly, there's really no distinguishable difference between each rapid trigger keyboard. So yeah, I guess the only real thing to do now is the sound test. So I'll let you guys take a listen to the MADE68 Pro so that you guys can hear what it sounds like. And yeah, guys, pretty decent sounding board. Really no complaints. Definitely very cool looking board, especially with all those themes, and the back LED as well is very unique and adds a bit of flair to the keyboard as well. Build quality is not super premium. You're not getting an aluminum chassis or anything like that. You're just getting a plastic case. So if you are looking for more of a premium experience, there are definitely different Hall effect keyboards on the market right now, albeit for a little bit more expensive, that come with a full aluminum chassis. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If you are interested in checking out this board, I will leave all of the relevant links in the description below. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.